Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will explain about sampling. Okay, so this concept belongs to machine learning subject. Now let us see about the sampling. So we'll see the definition. Sampling is the process of selecting small group. Okay, it is a sample from a larger population to collect data and make conclusions about the entire population. So what is the meaning of sampling? It is a process of selecting a small group, okay, which is also called as sample from a larger population. Okay, so from the larger data, we are going to select a small thing. So this is called as a sample. So you see, it is a practical and cost effective method, especially when studying the whole population is difficult or impossible. So what is going to be happened in the sampling? In general, it is a practical and cost effective method. So especially when we studied the whole population is difficult. Let us say there are 1,000 people are there. So whenever you want to study about them, it is very difficult. Instead of think about 1,000, just to take the sample. So by the way, we are going to get some conclusion. You see the example about the sampling. A man wants to buy mangoes but cannot check every mango. Okay, so he selects 2-3 mangoes randomly, checks their quality and assumes that entire batch is good. So what is going to be happened in the sampling? So this is the best example for sampling. So a person wants to buy mangoes. He went to shop. So he selects 2-3 mangoes randomly. By the way, he is going to check the conclusion. So he is going to check the quality of the product. So this is called as what we say sampling. Okay. So let us move on to next slide. Remember all of you, there are two types of samplings are there. First one is called as probability sampling and second one is called as non-probability sampling. So the probability samplings are random sampling, stratified sampling, cluster sampling, systematic sampling, and the non-probability samples are quota sampling, purposive sampling, conventional sampling, and snowball sampling. Now let us see one by one. So you see there are two types of samples are there. First one is the probability sampling. So what is the meaning of probability sampling? It is a method selecting sample from the population in a manner that involves random choice. Okay, so we are going to select the product or population based on random choice where each element has a known or equal chance of being selected. So we have completely 4 types of probability samplings are there. So we'll see the first one. The first one is called as random sampling, which is also called as simple random sampling. Okay. So now you see what is the meaning of random sampling method. So random sampling is a method in which every item or individual in a population has equal chance of being selected. So what is going to be happened in this? We are going to select every item or individual, okay, based on, so it is going to have equal chance of being selected. So let us see the example related to a random sampling method. Let us say we have a class of 30 students and want to randomly select 5 students of group project. So we write each student's name on the separate piece of paper, put them all in a hat, okay, and draw 5 names. So okay, so out of 30 students, if at all you want to select any sample, what is going to be happened? Randomly, I am going to select the 5 students from the total population is 30. So out of 30, I am going to pick 5 names. Each student has equal chance of being selected. Okay. So this is called as a random sampling. So let us move forward. You see, actually this random sampling method is a lottery method. So you observe here. So we have written the, you see, sample, simple random sampling. So method 1. So what is going to be happened? We have written all the names in this hat. So this is called as hat. So you observe, example, out of a class of 50 students, 15 are to be selected, take part in the fest. Okay, so let us say out of 50 students, I want to give the participation count as 15. So assign roll number from 1 to 50 each student, write number on a piece of paper, use the tickets and place in the hat, mix up, draw the 15 numbers from the hat. So you need to write 15 numbers. We will write 50 roll numbers. So we will select, we will draw 15. So this is called as what we say random sampling. So you observe. So these are called as a, we have written all the names or roll numbers in the paper. So we are going to randomly collected out of 50. If we take 15, so this is called as what we say random sampling method. Okay, so let us move on to stratified sampling. So this is also called as a, it is also a probability sampling method. Okay, so stratified sampling is a method in which population is divided into homogeneous groups. So this is also called as strata based on certain characters, and random samples are selected from the each group. So please remember, all of you, when I mentioned as this yellow mark, remember, so this is called as a homogeneous groups. So homogeneous group means similar. Okay, so let us see the example. Surveying 300 customers from a e-commerce site. So I want to survey 300 customers from the e-commerce, let us say Amazon. So divided into age groups. So 18 to 30, 31 to 50, 15 plus. So there are completely 3 groups are there. So select 100 customers randomly from each group. So this is called as a homogeneous groups. Okay, so we are selected but some members from here, here and here. So this is called as what we say stratified sampling. Stratified sampling method is also known as mixed sampling because it combines both purposive and random sampling methods. Okay, so this concept is called as a stratified sampling. So we are surveying 300 customers from the e-commerce. So you need to select random ages. So let us say when you select 18 to 30, 31 to 50, 15. So this is called the, so we can select easily 100 customers randomly from each group. So this is called as what we say stratified sampling. So let us go to next one. So next one is the cluster sampling. So cluster sampling is also called as a probability sampling. So it is a type of probability sampling. Cluster sampling is a method in which population is divided into natural groups, which is also called as clusters, and some clusters are randomly selected, then all individuals in those clusters are studied. Okay, so remember, all of you, this cluster sampling is divided the groups into natural groups. So example, so what is the example regarding this cluster sampling? To study the student lunch habits in city. Okay, if at all we want to study about the student lunch habits in a city, so what is going to be happen? Divide a student into clusters. So cluster means here group. Okay, so divide the students into clusters. Let us say schools. Randomly select 5 schools out of 50. Survey all the students in those selected schools. So selection is done at the group level, clusters. So not individual level. So in this, what is going to be happen? Cluster means it is a group. So if at all you want to study about the lunch habits of student, what you have to do? We need to select the different schools. So randomly we are going to select the different schools. So by the way, we will get more clarity about the student lunch habits. So this topic is called as a cluster sampling. Okay, so let us move forward. You can observe here cluster sampling. This is a diagram which shows about the cluster sampling. So you observe here the students are here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let us assume here, so this is called as this is one school. So let us say this is one school and it is another school and it is another school and it is. So what is going to be happened in this? Randomly we are going to select the students from all. Okay, so you observe here we are going to pick the students from this one. So this box, this is so we are going to select the students from this 5 comma 6 here. Okay, so this one. Okay, so this box. So we are going to select the students from this box and this box. So what is going to be happened? Randomly we have selected the students from the different schools. So let us say 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10, 11, 12. So these are the students. So first I want to select 5 comma 6 student number. Then I want to select 11 comma 12. So this is it will give habits about the students and it will also give habit about the students. So by the way, we are going to get some conclusion. So you observe here in the sample there are 2 clusters are there. Okay, so this is the first cluster, it is a second cluster. So this is called as cluster sampling. Okay, so let us move on to fourth one. So fourth one is called as systematic sampling. So what is the meaning of systematic sampling? So remember, systematic sampling is a method when which the population is arranged in the ordered list and every nth element is selected for the sample. Important point, which arrange the elements in ordered list. So remember, the keyword for systematic sampling is ordered list. Let us say the example, in a factory, arrange the smartphones in order. Select every 20th phone, test it or defects. So let us say one phone factory is there. If at all you want to check, so we may not check all the mobiles. So instead of checking all the mobiles, if you check every 20th phone, let us say, then we are going to predict the quality of the phone. So selection is done at fixed interval. So fixed interval means, let us say I am going to do 20th phone, then I am going to 40, then 60. So every 20th phone we are going to do the sampling. So this is called as systematic sampling. Okay, so let us move on to next one. So you observe here, let us say one example is there. So there are here the population contains completely 12 items. So I want to select randomly. So you observe here this second one, this fifth one. So I start from here second one. You may take any sample, but here my conclusion is I starts from second and every third element you observe fifth, every third element 8, 11. So cumulative we are going to get the result as 2, 5, 8, 11. So this is called as systematic sampling. Remember all of you, systematic sampling is also called as, it is a part of probability sampling. Okay, now we will go for non-probability sampling. What is the meaning of non-probability sampling? Non-probability sampling is a method of selecting a pattern from the population in a manner that does not involve the random choice. Okay, so here we not focused on random choice. So types of non-probability samplings: quota sampling, purposive sampling, conventional sampling, snowball sampling. So let us discuss one by one. So first one is the quota sampling. So what is the meaning of quota sampling? It is a method where population is divided into groups based on the certain characters like age, gender, income. Okay, so this is the important part. So in the quota sampling, we are going to divide the population, let us based on age, gender or income. Okay, so the researcher then picks up the number of items from each group from a sample. This is the way the sample represents the different parts of the population. So remember all of you, quota sampling divide the groups based on the characteristics. Okay. So selection is non-random, but it ensures the representation of different groups. Okay. Now we'll see what is the example for quota sampling. To study opinions of 100 people about the new product, divide the population into groups. So let us say 50 men are 50 women are there. So further divide by age groups. So select a fixed number quota from each group. Example 20 from the each age group. So collect responses accordingly. So when you select the based on the gender, okay, here we are taking the factor called as gender. So by the way, we may get some accurate results about any product. Okay, so this is called as what we say quota sampling. So let us move on to second one. This is called as purposive sampling. Remember all of you, purposive sampling is a type of non-probability sampling. So purposive sampling is selects samples based on researcher's judgment and relevance to the study. It is also known as judgmental sampling. So purposive sampling is also called as judgmental sampling. If a study is conducted on FMCG companies, the researcher deliberately selects the major companies like Nestle and Hindustan Unilever. So these are chosen because they are relevant and important to the study. Okay, so what is the meaning of this purposive sampling? We are going to select the samples based on researcher's judgment. Okay, so when you want to research anything or study, let us say the companies like Nestle and Hindustan Unilever, we have to choose the companies like this because they are relevant and important to the study. So always we must select the good company in order to do the any sample. Okay, so this is called as what we say purposive sampling. So it is also called as a judgmental sampling. So let us move on to third one, convenience sampling. So convenience sampling is a non-probability sampling method in which samples are selected on case of access and availability. So this is the keyword is ease of access and availability. So access and availability are keywords for convenience sampling. The example is a researcher wants to study habits. Okay, so particular person wants to study about the habits. He collects data from the students in his own class because they are easily available. So here, whenever the researcher wants to study about the habits, he collect from the students in own class because the students are available in front of him. So this is called as easy of access and availability. So this is called as convenience sampling. Okay, so let us move on to next, snowball sampling. So what is the meaning of snowball sampling? Remember all of you, snowball sampling is a non-probability method. So snowball sampling is a non-random method used when it's hard to find people for a study. So whenever we hard to find a people, then we go for snowball sampling. It starts with a few known people, let us say seeds. These people then suggest others and the group keeps growing like a snowball. So remember, in the snowball, what is going to be happen? First we will select one person. We'll select one person and this person will tell two persons and this two persons will tell more. Okay, so first we'll select the one person, will guide him, then he tells to other and they tells to more. So this is called as snowball. Let us see more example for this snowball. So here he is called as a researcher. So initial samples he selected these persons. So researcher will guide these three and this person guide this person and again this person will guide this person. So this is called as a snowball. So what is going to be happen? First researcher starts and it is going to link up with many members. So you observe here, one person tell two people and they tell many more. So this is called as a snowball. So second person will tell to him and he he will tell to again these two. So again he tell to this person. So finally we came here. Okay, so this is called as what we say snowball sampling. So this is all about the sampling techniques, one of the most important question. So please remember all of you. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you one and all. Thank you.